Surely you've heard the news that Joe Biden has prostate cancer. Many online are calling this yet another Biden cover-up. What do they mean by that? Let's take a look. This X post went viral. Prostate cancer is the easiest cancer to diagnose when it first starts and to watch it progress to bone metastasis. The PSA blood test shows the rate of cancer cell growth. For even with the most aggressive form, it is a 5 to 7 year journey with the treatment before it becomes metastatic. Meaning it would be malpractice for this patient to show up and first be diagnosed with metastatic disease in May 2025. It is highly likely he was carrying a diagnosis of prostate cancer throughout his White House tenure and the American people were uninformed. After that, we had some old videos pop up that, in hindsight, look a little suspicious. First, this from 2022.
The first frost, you know what was happening. You had to put on your windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. And why for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer.
This was chalked up as a Joe Biden, he didn't mean that gaffe. Then there was his brother going rogue after Biden dropped out of the presidential race.
CBS News had a brief conversation with Frank Biden, one of President Biden's two younger brothers, and here's what he told us. He said, "I'm incredibly proud of my brother. Selfishly, I will have him back to enjoy whatever time we have left." We asked him whether he feels that his brother's overall health and vitality played a major role in this decision, and he says, in my humble opinion, absolutely.
But medical professionals like this guy seem to be baffled as to how this cancer seemingly came out of nowhere.
Well, doesn't it take some time for prostate cancer to develop to a point where it would spread to the bones?
Oh, he's had this for many years, maybe even a decade, growing there and spreading. That's right. He did not develop it in the last 100, 200 days. He had it while he was president. He probably had it at the start of his presidency in 2021. Yes, that I don't think there's any disagreement about that.
This likely wasn't diagnosed this year. I mean, this was likely diagnosed within the last 5 to 10 years, more likely 10 years ago.
That is a fascinating statement. Do you believe there's no way he did not know that he had prostate cancer as he was serving in office?
Prostate cancer like this doesn't come on just overnight. This happens over a long period of time. And typically you would see a PSA elevation, you would do a biopsy, and then you would do a treatment for the prostate cancer. Then after the prostate cancer is treated, it can actually get worse and spread to different parts of the body. And so it's very unlikely that someone could get annual checkups and not notice a PSA elevation. It's very unusual to hear that someone has prostate cancer where they're annually being followed up. And the fact that we just find it at a Gleason 9 is just pretty much unheard of in this day and age of medicine.
It is interesting to note that President Trump's, President Obama's, and President Bush II, in their most recent physicals, in their terms of office, obviously 2025 for President Trump, did comment on their PSA levels. And so they got screened while in office. According to those that were able to, there is not a report of a PSA test on the most recent physical that was read out for President Biden's last year in office. And so it's to say what was done, what was not done, you and I would be speculating, but the other three most recent occupants of the White House had it drawn, and it was reported out. In the case of President Biden, it was not.
So let's just say it is a cover-up. What's the point? People are suggesting that it was dropped now to change the subject away from the increasingly intense conversations about Joe Biden's mental acuities during his presidency.
You have, as you and Paul just acknowledged, this book coming out, one of the biggest political books in several years. And it's reignited this debate in Washington and beyond within the Democratic Party about Biden, about whether he should have run for re-election at all. So it seems to me, Jessica, this debate doesn't end at all, but it is briefly put on pause as a result of today's news.
His announced medical condition now. Do you believe that silences or delays a lot of conversations about his, last year and a half of his presidency for now?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think those conversations are going to happen, but they should be more muted and set aside for now as he's struggling through this.
So did doctors blow it in taking too long to discover the cancer? Or is it indeed another Biden cover-up?